boys and girls. Today there's just going to be a really short video. We're going to clean up some things and then I'll be back later and we'll discuss some more things. The first thing I want to go over is the March calendar day 11. I'm hoping that you had an opportunity to do that, and let's go over what some of your answers could have been for the estimate and then what we got for an actual answer. Because before we start the rest of the calendar, I want to make sure that you've gotten this problem correct. So, we have 126 times 304. There's lots of different ways we can estimate that. I'm interested in hearing what you had to say. Probably the most likely one you would have used is 100 times 300. And we know we can figure that out by saying 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have to add place values onto that whole number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 place values. To do that with a whole number, all we have to do is stick on the 4 zeros, then count over, and put in our comma. And so one of your estimates might have been 100 times 300 equals 30,000. The other thing that we could have done is we could have looked at this and said, okay, 12 times 3 is a fact, so let's do 120 times 300, and we know that 12 times 3 is 36, and then we have 1, 2, 3 extra place values. Since 36 is a whole number, all we have to do is stick on those 3 zeros to add those 3 place values, and then we get 36,000. Now I'm hoping you looked at this one and you said, okay, we estimated this number to be less, and we estimated this number to be less, so I know that this is an underestimate, which would be the same thing for this. 126 down to 120, 304 down to 300, we get 36,000. It makes sense that we would use this one because it's going to be closer. And we still know it's going to be greater than that number. So I'm going to choose to use 120 times 300. And there's certainly others that you could use, but I'm going to choose to use that one for right now. And then you had to figure out the actual area. And you could have used the area model where you took the vertical dimension of 126 and broke it up into 120 and 6, and the 304 to where you broke it up into 304. And if you did it that way, then you know that 300 times 100 is actually our original estimate, and we would get 30,000, and then 100 times 4 is 400. We go to the next row, because remember, in multiplication, every place value needs to be multiplied by every place value. So 20 times 300, we can figure that out by saying 3 times 2 is 6. And then we need 3 more place values added on. And then 20 times 4 is 80. We move to the next place value of 6. 6 times 300. 6 times 3 is 18, and then we add 2 zeros, and we get 1,800. And 6 times 4 is 24. Now we need to add all of those up, and if I add 30,000 plus 6,000, I get 36,000. 36,000 plus 1,800 is 37,800. 800. And then if I add this column, I can say 400 is 480. 80 plus 20 is 500. 500 plus 4 is 504. And now I need to add these two together. I can use the standard algorithm if I'd like, lining up the place values. And I get 38,304. So that becomes my actual 38,304. And remember, it's area, so it's square units. And that would be my actual. But there's other ways you could have done it. You didn't have to use the area model. If you were doing partial products, you would have said 4 times 6 is 24. And I know a lot of you then write the expression on the side. And then 4 times 20 is 80. That's 4 times 20. And then 4 times 100 is 400. 4 times 100. And I hope that you're seeing that all of the same things are listed on our area model as it are our partial products. Okay, and then we skip way over to 300 times 6. And that, as we said before, is 1,800. And 300 times 20. And that is 6,000. And then 300 times 100. And that is 30,000. And then again, we add these all up, which is the same thing that we did here, but we'll take a look at it this way. 10, carry the 1, 8 plus 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13, carry the 1, 6 plus 2 is 8, and again, we get 38,304, and because it is area, we want to make sure that we put in our square units. And then finally, we can take a look at the standard algorithm for those of you that know that. And I'm going to get down on the ground here. 4 times 6 is 24. Put down the 4, carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Plus 2 more is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. Now, that is our first partial product using all of the place values. And as you can see, it lines up with the area model over on this side. Next, we're multiplying by 300. But multiplying by 3 is easy, so we're just going to put down the 2 extra place values before we begin. We're going to cross these out, and now we say 3 times 6 is 18. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and 3 times 1 is 3. Then we add up our only 2 partial products, but we can see where we got this one from. 13, 8, 3, and again, we get 38,304. So, if you have your sheets in front of you, you can make sure that you have an estimate that makes sense. We have an actual that's 38,304 square units. We compare that to our estimate. Is it close? Yes, it is. So we've done all of those correctly. So these are the 3 ways you could have done it. We will be learning this. We haven't done it yet. But these ways are perfectly acceptable, and you can see how they're tied together. So on your sheets about the calendar. I'd like you to fill in day 11. Make sure you have an estimate. Make sure you have that actual answer. Okay, great. Now we're going to cut over to what I want you to do next with what you have. On the first page of those calendar sheets that I sent you, there was a pattern sheet. What patterns do you see? So in a very short while, I will be sending you the days 1 through 10 that we've done already. And what I want you to do is on that calendar pattern paper, write down as many patterns as you see. We know there's color patterns. We know there's patterns in the decimals. There's a couple other patterns that I'm wondering if you'll see. So please take some time to do that, and we'll come back, we'll fill this in. I will send the rest of the week of the calendar to you, and you can see if you can figure out the areas for each of those days. Okay, that's it for now. I'll be back later on. Thanks so much and have a great day.